Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Dr. William Schnoebelen coming to you with a brief but urgent prayer alert about the upcoming Satanic holiday, which is once again upon us. This time it is Beltane or Walpurgisnacht, as it's known in Northern Europe, which is on May 1st and October 30th, the night before. This is a major Wiccan holiday and Satanic holiday. And I just want to alert everybody, you need to be praying during this time, because these are always perilous times because of the kind of dark energies that some of these groups try to invoke. And I want to preface this as always by clarifying that white witches, Wiccans, celebrate this holiday, but they don't do any kind of animal or human sacrifices, at least that I'm aware of. They just use it as a celebration of fertility and sexuality, and the idea that the sun is coming back from the south, and the fact that winter is over and that spring is in full bloom, and so on. You know, it's, again, Wicca is, at least pretends to be a agriculturally based fertility cult. However, the deeper implications of this are that Satanists also use this same calendar, and they kind of piggyback on it, and they use it. This is the other major holiday, the other one being, of course, Halloween or Samhain, which everybody knows that's on October 31st. But this is the other pole of the pagan calendar and of the Satanic calendar. And this is a very powerful, dark, dangerous night. One thing I want to mention before I get into the deeper aspects of this, we're calling for people to pray. And I'm going to talk more specifically about how to pray in a minute, but is that there are certain things that are associated with this night and this time of year that are pagan, even though some of them seem to be Christian. There's the idea of the Maypole, dancing around the Maypole. I would hope that everybody understands that is a veiled phallic symbol. It's phallic worship, and for little children to be dancing around this giant representation of the human phallus and garlanding it with flowers and ribbons or whatever, it looks very innocent. And I remember people were doing that even in our small community when I was a little child. But, you know, it is pagan, and it does involve in the invocation of sexual feelings, in some cases prematurely for children, and you don't want that. So, and plus we're just not supposed to keep the feasts of the pagans. I mean, the scriptures tell us that. So that's number one. The other thing about this holiday, which is more recent, is its strong association with communism. Many of you may not remember this, but at one point in the Soviet Union, before it fell a quarter century ago, they would have May Day celebrations every year, and May Day was like the feast of the workers, quote unquote, the communist revolution, and all of that. And why is that spiritually significant? Well, aside from the fact that most people understand that communism is atheistic, it hates, you know, anything having to do with Christianity or religion of any kind. But beyond that, paradoxically, the early founders of communism, like Karl Marx and Lenin, and probably Stalin, were all Satanists. Marx was for certain. Karl Marx was an avowed Satanist, and this is documented in a book by Richard Wurmbrand, the famous man who started the Voice of the Martyrs, who was tortured for his faith in Eastern Europe many years ago. And he knew firsthand that just the profound satanic evil of communism, and all of this crystallized on this night. And so this is being done, you know, and to the extent that even the Catholic Church, in trying to be socially trendy, many, many years ago, started a feast of St. Joseph the Worker at this time. And, you know, there's May crownings that go on in the Catholic Church where they have a little girl is selected and she's dressed up like a little bride in flowers and everything, and she goes and she puts a little crown on the head of the statue of the Virgin Mary. And this is, of course, idolatry. However innocent it might seem, it's idolatry. And we just advise people to flee these things, whether it's May crownings or Maypoles or, you know, obviously communism. Understand that there's just some very, very dark energies during this time. Even though its PR is a lot less sinister than Halloween, it's still a time where we really need to pray. Now, the other thing to understand is that in the Northern European countries, as I mentioned, this is called Valpurgisnacht, which means the night of Saint Valpurga. And this is some obscure, you know, saint who's acquired a very sinister reputation among both witches and Satanists. And this night, it is required by the evil one to have a sacrifice of a human woman between the ages of 1 and 25. So that is what they need to do to please their evil master, Ha-Satan, the evil one, is they need to sacrifice a young woman or a female child on this night. So we advise people to please, you know, be careful with their female children, their daughters. Please keep an eye on them, because this stuff is real and it's happening, and you need to pray for them. And again, we'll mention that a little bit more at the end. But the other thing to understand is that just like in Christianity or in Judaism or in most religions, there are different flavors of Satanism. And in some forms of hardcore Satanism, and of course the Church of Satan and these various other legal satanic groups claim, oh, we don't do any of this, this is all made up. But, you know, there are underground satanic groups that are doing this and have been doing it for at least several centuries. Some of them believe that this is the night when they have to take very young baby girls and literally boil them and then eat them on this night to please their master, the evil one. So this is a night of incredible darkness, and we really need to pray because, you know, these dark forces are flooding our land. And of course, the Satanists in particular believe that by doing these things, they can push back the forces of light, the forces of biblical faith, the forces of Yahushua, and gain more and more ground in this country, as if they haven't gained already plenty of ground in the media, in the political scene, in the academic scene. But, you know, that's another talk. The point is, we need to pray against this. We need to stand against it. And as we say always, pray for your children, particularly if you have daughters. Pray for the children of your community who may not have anybody to pray for them. And we have on our website for free download a prayer to pray in dark seasons. And this is one of those dark seasons, one of the 8 major festivals of witchcraft and Satanism. So please, brethren, join with us in prayer over the period of the 30th, the evening of the 30th, and the day of May 1st, which is coming up in about 3 days. We exhort you to do this and take up the sword of the Spirit and the shield of faith and the rest of the armor, and go forth and pray for your family, pray for your community, pray for your nation, because you can believe me, these evil people are doing what they're doing with great zeal and great dedication, including fasting and taking the energy from that and trying to direct it toward the destruction of scriptural values in this nation and in the world. So we need to take the battle and declare victory in the name of Yahushua HaMoshiach. Please join us in praying on this night. Thank you very much. We pray that this has been an informative, if brief, YouTube video. If you like these sort of things, please share it. Please subscribe to it, and realize that we have a lot of free material on prayer, intercession, and warfare on our website. Things on deliverance, things on the Bible and scriptures, on the biblical feasts, and on apologetics against various false religions like the Masons and the Catholics and so on. So please, if you feel like we're a blessing to you, please subscribe and share, and please pray about being a financial supporter regularly of our ministry, because we do need it, especially as we're coming into the summer months, which are always kind of a trying time for all faith-based ministries. So thank you very much, and we pray that this is a blessing to you, and thank you. Shalom, shalom.